I wanted to talk to you about COVID because your Netflix special comes out and you can't tour, which was like when you want to be.
Oh, it was really legit a perfect storm. I remember Ralphie May one time told me on my first special, Comfortably Dumb, he said, "Playa, you better hope for a snowstorm." I said, "What?" And he goes, "That's how you get numbers on television. Snowstorm doesn't knock out the power, but everyone stays home. They watch your special." And he was wrong. You should pray for a pandemic. My special came out March 17th. Stay-at-home orders were March 13th. So the entire country is forced to stay in their house and watch either Tiger King or the other thing on Netflix is my special, Secret Time, or Hey Big Boy. Hey Big Boy, I think it was. And it was crazy. I mean, I remember my Instagram mentions, like where you can, the people that are mentioning you in their stories was like, it looked like a straight line. Like I couldn't get through them. And everyone was hitting me up about my special. They're like, "Dude, the special's amazing. Like, thank you." And I was like, "I got a tour." And it's how my brain works. It's like, let's burn it. Yeah. Come on, I'm smart enough, I can think of a workaround. And so March 19th, I called my managers and agents and I said, check on drive-in movie theaters. And they're like, "What?" I said, I know we can get like a stage and then they can put it up on the big screen. Like, see if the drive-in movie theaters are open. That way they can all stay in their cars, but they can come to my shows. And they're like, "That's not a thing." I said, "Well, see if we can make it a thing." I remember I ran it by Tom. And Tom said, "I'm not doing it. That's stupid." He was like, "You're gonna be a guinea pig, and if it doesn't work, you're gonna look like an ass." And he's like, "You got all this momentum, just let it sit. Just go on tour when they open things up." And I was like, "No, man, like I've been on the back seat my entire career waiting for opportunities. I finally get an opportunity. I'm gonna create it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make this happen." So my managers and agents said, "How about we do 4 of them? See if you like them, do 4. And I remember my manager, Judy, said, "You're so creative that even if you do it and it's bad, the way you'll represent it online, it'll look fun. Like you don't have to make it look bad. It'll be fun and you might like it. If you like it, we can book more. If you don't like it, we just don't have to do it. But it's interesting. I think it's fun and it's your idea. You're the one that set us out on this goose chase to get it for you. We got it for you. Do it." And so I did it. We did 4 nights. And the first night we were in a rock quarry in North Carolina and the cars were backed up for 5 miles. And that energy was so pretty. It was so, and then they all come in and it's an old movie theater. It's an old drive-in movie theater back to like the 40s. And it's all set in a rock quarry with a beautiful background. And the sun starts setting and people are out of their cars. They got couches. Everyone's socially distant or whatever, they got smokers out and they're making meats and they're just like so happy to be outside of their house and connect. They've been in their houses for 3 months. And we did it and I had so much fun. I called my agent, Nick, that night, and I said, "Book out my summer. Book out until it gets cold, because I can't perform when it's too cold, because I'm shirtless." And we worked until November. I think we did like 70 shows, 30 cities. It was crazy. We went all over the country. I gotta say, it was probably one of the coolest tours I've ever done. We lived in a bus, me and 12 dudes. We packed the bus out. We stayed socially distant. We stayed in our bubble. No one got COVID. And we toured the country when it was vacant. I mean, had the greatest experience I've ever had. And then, it was the first time that I actually realized that my brain with my weird thoughts could work, that I could do things that were off the grid and people would appreciate. And I won a bunch of awards for it. And then I started listening to my own brain. I'd be like, I'm gonna do a dance video to release this. And I don't care. I'll get a marching band for $1,200. Have them come to my backyard and we'll do a promo video that way. And I really started going like, just follow your heart and do what you believe is right. And it was the coolest part. The coolest part was that like my peers, and I'll share names, but like Jim Gaffigan called me. He was like, "Hey man, I know you're doing this drive-in movie theater tour. I'd like to do it. Is it okay if I do it? Because I know it's your idea." And I went, "Yeah." I go, "I didn't create it for me. I created it for us." And then Brian Regan called me. He's like, "Hey man, I know you're doing this drive-in movie theater. I'd like to do something. Do you mind if I?" It was like the coolest thing to get respect from your peer, and especially at that level. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I was like, this is one of the coolest experiences, this summer touring, this outdoor touring. Called Nick and I was like, "Let's do more outdoor touring. Even when we go back inside, I want to do more outdoor. I want to do these baseball stadiums." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know if anyone's doing baseball stadiums. I go, set it up. And Nick's like, it. He said, what are you going to call it? And I was like, Fully Loaded. I'm going to bring my favorite comics on the road with me. And we did the first year of Fully Loaded. And it was, when we set, it's a cheat code, but we set record attendance at every baseball stadium we did because they can't see people on the infield.
Yeah.
But we like blew out beer records. I mean, had amazing shows, and I was with all my best friends. All my best friends, this is before they were all as famous as they are now. We did Fully Loaded last year. We did even more. We did like 5 weekends, I think. We did, I mean, and then you got guys like Dave Matthews, like leaving me a voicemail, like going like, dude, it's so cool what you're doing. I left a bottle of whiskey for you at the thing. And like that means a lot to me. And then, you know, and like one of my good friends, Shane Gillis, was like, I can only do one date. And then he did the one date at Forest Hills at this tennis stadium. And he goes, I fucked up. I should have done the whole tour with you. I should never have listened to my agents. Can I come up next tomorrow? And we're like, what? And he's like, I'll pay for it. You don't have to pay me. I just want to do another one. And you're like, yeah. And so you do that, and then you do the cruise. And then, you know, once again, it's like following your stupid brain, has an idea, you do the cruise, and then you witness the energy around something like that you created, that you came up with the idea and said, I want to do this. You went to the comedians, you said, hey, I want to pay you solid. I want you to come on this cruise. I want to share my fans with you. And then it's like, look, all these people are so successful now. They really are. And I'm telling you, they did not need my help. They were going to be famous no matter what.